And that was unfortunate. It only got up £4 since that. He backed up quite quickly after that at Thurles. He went up in trip. He went up to 2 mile 6 on that occasion. Probably ran flat. He was 5-2 favourite, given a quick turnaround. You can forgive him that, and as you can forgive him his run, perhaps given the length of time he was off when pitching up at Thurles again in November when he was beaten 12 lengths. Interesting now to see the market support come from. There he is going to the start. He looks fresh and well in himself, and his bike getaway, he's bred to get better with time, and it's quite significant that there has been some move from in the market. Dangers include Desi's Diamond, trained by Paul Flynn, ridden by Dennis O'Regan, and Dennis rode this one when it was third in a handicap hurl at Tipperary when last seen in late October, just over 3 weeks ago. A lot to like about that run. It was a step back in the right direction, the first time in Ireland that this horse is shaped with any sort of promise. Of course, in the UK with Dennis Coakley, last run in Lingfield in February 19, it was second in a maiden hurl there. Johnny Burke rode on that occasion, beaten 4.5 lengths. And stepping into this grade, rate 117 at that time in England, £16 lower now.
One more to come from Cheltenham, and the final race is upon us from Fairyhouse. It's been a really good, informative day so far.
20
There's
seconds.
one more race to come, a handicap hurdle over 2 miles. Johnny Littlelegs is the 9-2 favourite here. Desi's Diamond 6-1 alongside
10
Sadie's
seconds.
Tricks. The big mover here, 9-1 into 11-2. Clear second favourite. Fran, it looks really competitive, but there's lots of money for this Sadie's
0
Tricks. It was a winner last
seconds.
time for Peter Fahy.
Indeed, Alex, and was a good winner on handicap debut at Clonmel. Won in good style, was held up on that occasion and came through travelling well to go and challenge and lead and win nicely by a couple of lengths, given that was her first start in handicap company, and she's only got up to £8 for that. It's still in a low grade. You'd like to think there is a bit more improvement in her, and you can see her there to start. Of course, Kevin Sexton, Peter Fye bidding for a double on the day. She is a winner and she's open to a lot more improvement, but there is a couple of interesting contenders, and probably no more so than Desi's Diamond at number 1 on the card for trainer Paul Flynn, ridden by Dennis O'Regan. Desi's Diamond has an interesting profile, was in the UK with Dennis Coakley and had a rating of 117 at one point, had some decent form in that sphere. Of course, just beat in Lingfield on his last run over hurls there in the UK, beating 4.5 lengths off a mark at 117. 5 runs to date in Ireland. The last run was the one that just showed that this horse might just be finding this level off 102. Dropped £1 for that today into today's race is just interesting given the profile of it, and it could be just dropped into a race where it could be competitive. Has top weight, but might be a bit of value to take on the Sadie's Mixed Tricks, who's been well supported. Conor Maxwell, Dermot McLaughlin have an interesting one, I suppose. The Great White was a decent winner of a point-to-point in January 2020, and we've seen this one making his handicap hurl debut and beating 10 lengths by the Real Deal in Navan in that race, of course, where the Real Deal burst onto the scene when winning on his handicap debut. And there was a lot to like, a lot of promise about the run of this horse at Navan. He is dropping down the trip here today, but given his breed now, it might not be beyond the bounds that he could have the pace for this distance, and he should be right there in the mix as well. At the top of the market, or was disputing the market earlier this morning at least, was Johnny Littlelegs. Sean O'Brien trains this, Mark McDonough taking the ride, and this one was unlucky to be beaten at Thurles in early March. Just looked like it was getting there to lead and win late on before getting headed on the line by Chalky White. Went up £4 for that, and probably a quick turnaround, maybe just less than 3 weeks turnaround when running again at Thurles. Well up in distance on that day, ran no race, beaten 28 lengths, and is sure to have improved from his comeback run recently, only 8 days ago at Thurles when beaten 12 lengths but behind Solan Hill. Mark McDonough does take the ride again. In similar profile to Sadie's Tricks, this one's got an unexposed profile, lightly raced, and could be a little bit more to come than some of her rivals. Fairy Tale Empress has been reasonably weak in the mark, and this one again is only just stepping into racing regularly. It's had 3 runs in maiden hurls into handicap hurl, no show at Galway in early September, but then really stepped up the mark at 66 to 1 when winning at this track over 2 miles 2 under today's rider Barry Brown. Now it's got up £8 for that, but crucially is still in a low grade and is right there in the mix. Wide open handicap hurl. We get up to James Griffin for the call. Looks like they're just about getting ready to go off. There should be a bit more pace here than what we've seen in a couple of the earlier maiden hurls to date.
White flag is raised. And they're off.
Market in play.
Off and running for the closer. And on the inside, Desi's Diamond. In company with Winston Wolf. Crackaway. Fairytale